What's up, guys? The NBA is back, which means I got some NBA season-long plays for you guys in this video. We have crushed the last two NBA seasons. Looking to start off hot, or technically end the season off with a bang here. I got some NBA season-long player props for you guys today on PrizePicks that I'm going to look at, and hopefully let's just stay cashing. Like I said, though, we crush the NBA every single season. At the time of this recording, we are 6 days away from the NBA season, so I'm super excited for that. Gonna have plays nearly every single day for the NBA here and in the DubClub. So make sure you stick around, get those free plays by subscribing to the channel, leaving a like, and having those post notifications turned on. We're gonna get to these plays here. I got 4 of them. It's gonna be a 4-pick power play for the 10x, going over some season averages here. But before we get to these plays, don't miss out on joining the DubClub. You can get all of my plays sent straight to your phone with the DubClub, and I have 2 special offers going on right now. First off, you can get 50% off my best package for the first month, which is going to cover you for the first 3 weeks or so of the NBA season. So you can just check it out for the next 3 weeks, as you can see here. Getting 50% off your first month. It also includes NHL plays, which we've been on fire with, MLB plays for the rest of the season, NFL plays, and Discord chat. Or if you'd rather spend down a little bit, you can spend $10 for your first month, a little less, $9.99. You can get just basketball plays here. It doesn't include other sports. It does not include Discord chat, but if you're only interested in basketball plays, both these options are down in my description. I'm over $5,000 of profit on PrizePicks. I know what I'm doing. Over on Sleeper, I'm up over $1,300 of profit, and I've also profited on Chalkboard, Underdog, and Sportsbook. So don't miss out on joining the DubClub. You can do so with the links down in my description, and just ride with me this NBA season. Let's hop in. So this entry is going to be a 1-unit play for me here. So we have a bunch of different categories going over some season averages, some 50-point games, triple-doubles, things like that. But I'm mostly going to focus on these averages props. I have some points, I got some rebounds, I got some assists, some over, some under. Let's get to it here. The first play that I like here is going to be from my Milwaukee Bucks here. I'm going to scroll down until we find the points category. Damian Lillard, over 24.5 season points average. Year 2 Dame, he should be able to have a pretty good season this time around. If you remember last year, Damian Lillard got off to a pretty slow start with Milwaukee, but he was able to kind of bounce back towards the end, especially with that 3-ball, and he's had a great start to the preseason. But last season with Milwaukee, he played 73 games, where he averaged 24.3 points, as you can see right there, 24.3. And pretty much every season in Portland, besides one season right here in 2021-22, when he only played 29 games, he averaged more than that 24.5 line that's there today. Of course, though, Portland and Milwaukee, not the same team. He was the main scorer in Portland. He's the second option pretty much to Giannis in Milwaukee, although very different situations. And the Milwaukee Bucks haven't really lost anyone in the offseason. Really, they kind of added Gary Trent, who had an injury scare, but he's actually going to be, it looks like he's going to be starting the first game of the season here for Milwaukee. Really not super worried about Gary Trent being there. If anything, I think it should potentially help Damian Lillard. But you can kind of see, if you look at it last year, how much better his 3-ball got as the season went on. If you look at it here, you can just see how it kind of trended up a little bit here with his 3-point percentage, because starting out in October, he was shooting less than 30%, and he even had a bad month in January, but towards the end of last year, he was shooting pretty good from 3. You know, these last couple of months here, February and March, 36.4% from 3, 40.5% from 3. I don't mind his 3-point average on PrizePicks. I believe it's like 3.1 maybe, or somewhere around there, maybe a little bit higher than that. But pre-All-Star break, he was shooting about 34.1%, and then 38.3% post-All-Star break. So you can just see how kind of he had a rough start, but kind of ended off good, and that's what we're kind of looking for here. I think we can get a really nice bounce back season here from Damian Lillard. There's also a lot of opportunities for these guys to miss time. Hopefully it does not happen. Don't want injuries from these guys, obviously, but I think there is a little bit of upside for some overs for not even just Damian Lillard, but a lot of these guys with some injuries, things like that, because Brook Lopez is getting a little bit old. Giannis, he's had a couple of injuries across his career. He's not anything major or anything like that, but Chris Middleton has definitely had his share of injuries for sure. I think you could see some of these guys taking a rest on like a back-to-back, giving some Damian Lillard. I think you could see some of those guys on this Bucks team, since they're just getting older, not playing in back-to-backs, increasing Damian Lillard's points, hopefully in those games. So I think there's a lot of upside here with Damian Lillard to have just kind of a bounce-back year here. He averaged a little bit less than 24.5 last season. I don't see why he can't go more than that this season. Let's hop into my second play here, and this one is actually going to be over in the rebounds per game average here. And we're going to scroll down until we find the next play, which actually be Nicholas Claxton, under 10.3 rebounds per game. This was actually 10.8 when I posted it to the DubClub. Now it's at 10.3, and I still do not mind the under here. Let's take a look here at why I like him so much under the 10.3 rebounds per game here. This one I really don't understand at all, because I don't see him having a huge minute increase this year. If you look at his minutes, he averaged 29.9 and 29.8 minutes the last 2 seasons here. So actually his minutes trended down by 0.1 last year. But if you look at it here, his rebounds per game, he had 9.2 and 9.9. There's not really a reason for him to go more than this, especially with guys like Ben Simmons coming back, although let's be real, he's probably going to get injured again. But they also have like Duron Sharp there. They have Noah Clowney as well on this team. There's a lot of other guys that they can filter in for Nick Claxton here. He shouldn't be playing 30 minutes per game. And of course, you have the upside of Nick Claxton getting into foul trouble and having some really rough games where he's only finishing with like 5 rebounds due to foul trouble or not playing the first half, because he likes to get into foul trouble a decent amount of the time for sure. sure. So like I said, I mean, I really don't see him going over this year with just the minutes that he's been seeing. I don't expect those to increase a ton. And they also have plenty of these guys coming back, like Ben Simmons, who's going to take a lot of rebounds away from him. We'll see if he stays healthy, though, this year. I mean, he's only played like a couple games the last few seasons, so I still see a lot of value personally in Nick Claxton under those 10.3 rebounds per game there. Let's hop over to my next play. This time we're going back to the points per game average, and I'm going to scroll down until we find Zachary Risacher over 10.5 points per game. They're constantly bumping these, actually, because he was just at 10.4. Now they bumped to 10.5. These are getting bumped like crazy for some reason. But he was the first overall pick in the draft this season, and it looks like he could possibly already be taken over for DeAndre Hunter. I don't think this lasts going into the first game of the season, but currently he is on the depth chart ahead of DeAndre Hunter. Hunter's had a very, very rough preseason. I think he ends up losing his job personally to Risacher here. Like I said, I don't think that starts out the season. I think DeAndre Hunter will start the season on the starting five, but I think as the season goes on, you'll see Risacher moved more and more and getting more and more involved in this offense as he gets further into basically his NBA career, his first season. But they really do need another scorer on this team besides Jalen Johnson and Trae Young. Bogdanovich is going to pitch in, a couple points per game. Capella's not a huge scorer or anything like that. They need another guy there. I think that could be Risacher here. And I think the Hawks will eventually see that, and he will be in the starting five, maybe 25% through the season, 50% of the way through the season. And if that does indeed happen, I don't see why he can't average 11 points a game at least. I think there's a really, really low number to clear, unless he doesn't play like the first 75% of the season in the starting five. That's really the only reason I see this going under, because I think if he does eventually get into that starting five, about halfway through the season, I don't see why he cannot average 11 points per game. This seems like a really, really low number for Risacher to clear in this one. Give me the over here for his average points per game. Getting to the last play here, we're going to stay with the Atlanta Hawks actually and head over to the assists per game category. So that means you already know who I'm going with. Trae Young over 10.8 average assists per game. And this completes our entry here. Lillard over points, Claxton under rebounds, Risacher over points, Trae Young over assists, as you can see right there. That is my 10x entry. But let's talk about why I like Trae Young and his assists in this one. So last season, in terms of assists, he averaged 10.8. So he was right on the money right there at 10.8. He has not cleared this a single season in his career. They really don't have any playmakers on this team anymore because last season he had to play with DeJounte Murray. And now DeJounte Murray is on the New Orleans Pelicans. And if you see how he did last season, although it was a small sample size, in 4 games he averaged 11.3 assists. And one of those games, by the way, he only played 21 minutes right there against Charlotte. So in the 4 games without him, he had 11, 12, 10, and 12 assists, averaging 11.3. He had a great season last year without him, although, like I said, it was a pretty small sample size. He's actually one of the top players in the league, so he's seeing close to 40 minutes per game. I don't see why he cannot go over these assists here, especially with there not really being a ton of playmakers on this team. While the Hawks are not necessarily a great team, they don't really have anyone behind Trae Young, so he's going to be playing probably 40 minutes a game, like I said. So that he should be almost guaranteed for at least 36, 38 minutes, unless it's a blowout per game. So Trae Young should be able to clear these assists here as long as he just stays getting those types of minutes, and as long as his team, continues to score. I guess we do have a little bit of slight correlation, too, between Risacher and Trae Young right there, going with 2 Atlanta Hawks in the over. Hopefully the Hawks end up having a good season based off of those 2. But those are my plays for the NBA season. Like I said, those are my 4. It is a 10x on PrizePicks, 1 unit max. That is all that is going in terms of units there. Like I said, though, you can get all my plays over in the DubClub. You could have got in before those things got bumped and things like that. I still like them after the bumps, but the DubClub obviously got a much better value. I profited over $5,000 on PrizePicks. You can see here that I'm offering 2 special offers right now. 50% off my best package, includes all sports, Discord chat, everything. Only $15 for your first month. Or if you just want NBA only, but not including other sports and Discord chat, you can get it right now for only $10 for your first month. Both options are down in my description. Thank you for watching. Super excited for this NBA season. We cash out every single season. Looking to do it yet again this season. I'll see you guys hopefully probably next Monday for my first NBA video. See you guys then.